What's going on, everyone? Doing a little commentary on a matchmaking game I played with some friends. I thought this was a really good example of some fundamental ideas about Guardian, so I felt like I should record and do a little commentary on it. I'll probably pause periodically throughout just to make sure that I can catch everything I want to talk about. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So right off the bat, before we even move, I already know my T11 right there is my brother. He and I played Halo for a long time, so I know immediately that just based on the fact that he's the furthest towards camo, he's immediately going to go camo off the opening rush. I just immediately turn right on the opening rush and go for Snipe Tower because, again, you want to make sure you're splitting up the power weapons and power-ups you go to. I go lift here. Now, unfortunately, I end up making a mistake here. I end up hitting myself with a nade right here. Bounced off that little corner, and I was trying to get it in that little pocket where the control spawns. I end up dying as a result. And so I spawn blue. So, the basic premise on Guardian is that there's really two sort of sides to the map. You have Snipe Tower and green, which is over here. And green. And then you have blue and gold, and those are sort of like the two areas that are the areas you hold as a unit. So green and snipe get lumped together, gold and blue get lumped together. So I'm going to push it here a little bit. So you almost always want to be getting snipe and green because ultimately the sniper is the best weapon on this map, and want to be taking advantage of when it spawns. So here we're trying to get back Snipe Tower. Guy pushed me top mid, unfortunately, but I think my teammate will clean him up. I'm mistaken here. Yep, gets the pickup. So right here, you spawn green. Now, the setup you really want is you want some people in green and you want some people on snipe. Unfortunately, I don't know if he just spawned up, but this teammate should not be fighting over here. He should be coming back to this setup. He ends up dying. So one really interesting thing is when you do have setup, top camo, so you see I have one teammate S2, one teammate top green, and ideally our third teammate would be either like middle elbow or S2, S3 area whenever he spawns up. So you're going to see here he's going to spawn in a second. Yep, spawns S3. But this is a really solid setup. I'm holding camo. Now camo is sort of a luxury, like camo is sort of the cherry on top because you can shoot people in the back as they try to push from top blue or from top gold. And you're actually pretty hard to kill if your top green and S2 teammates help you out. You're really hard to kill, and there's nades that spawn where I'm standing, so you can use them to help save yourself. So this is a decent spot. It also lets you get closer to camo when it does spawn. So here I get a call as the guy bottom mid. Fortunately, I didn't pay attention to the guy on my back, but I get a lucky stick. So that's pretty even right now. We did get a small Snipe Tower set up. Now, one of the people I'm playing with, two of them really, are relatively new to Halo competitive, even though this isn't a hardcore playlist, so I'm kind of teaching as we're going through this game, like teaching what to do. So here I get a call at the bottom blue, I see them going top blue. Here I call it, they're going snipe lift. I unfortunately missed that kill, I really should have gotten it, but I make up for it later, you'll see. So here I make a mistake. I should not have pushed top tree. I was trying to help my teammate who was going top mid, but realistically he was going to die. He shouldn't have gone top mid. Generally, you want to go like elbow to help your team. So I end up getting weak here. Now, unfortunately, that means that whenever I hear the call out for this top mid guy, I'm too weak to finish him off. But my teammate gets the kill. I call out this guy going S3. Now here, some miscommunication. So my teammate gets stuck and dies with snipe. I hear the call out, but I'm the further away one, and our other teammate, who again is relatively new, didn't hear the call out. This guy ends up getting a triple basically, breaking our setup by himself. So right now we're down. We're down by a lot, and we have not really been able to hold any setup. There I get a bad spawn, but I end up at least going 1-for-1. I'll try to help my teammates top gold. I call out this guy camo. He gets the kill. So really, alright, so here I get a call this guy blue, but I was already weak from top mid. So we really want to try to retake Snipe Tower setup, but we're really spread out. We got into green. I go lift to try to help the guy S2. And right here is a huge time because if you see on my radar, there's 3 of them gold. We really should be able to push the guy on Snipe Tower and take it back. We're down 9 right now. The kill on the guy pushing. So this is an example of like when they push from gold, they can't push across top mid when you're camo. Like they have to kill you for too much of a nuisance. Okay. So here's still a guy on S2 that we haven't been able to kill. He's on high elbow. So here I'm like tunnel visioning on him. We get the kill and I get the melee. So two things here. One, we're down 10 kills. That's a pretty big deficit, especially when you have inexperienced players on your team. Number two, if you're gonna die, you need to do as much damage as possible. And so a lot of times I see players like try to throw grenades, try to get a lucky stick. The far more reliable thing is to just like shoot them and try to melee them. You know, it's going to help if your teammates pick up kills. Like right here, this guy ends up getting away, but if my team was in position, if they could see him, they could have gotten him. So here we get, I'm gonna call out this guy bottom mid, trade there. It's not great, but we're gonna spawn up, and I know camo's coming up, so I end up pushing it here. My teammates got cover, so this is an example of like my teammate is top elbow and top mid. So they can see me, and they're calling out these people coming in. Here I get a really nice nade off the wall. I'm getting the second kill. So right here, again, this player right here, he shouldn't be coming out here. Like, he's trying to help me, but once he gets that kill, he should run back to bottom green. So instead, unfortunately, he drops bottom gold, and this is bad for a couple reasons. Just showing people what not to do. So number one is bottom gold's a death trap. Like this is probably the closest equivalent to like suicide room on lockdown that you can get on this map. Number two is if any of us were to die, we're more likely now to spawn bottom gold, bottom blue, top gold when our team is at snipe tower. Yeah, I do die. He ends up dying if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he's all the way over there by himself. So in that situation, once he pushed to help me, he wants to push back into green because once that fight is over, you're more valuable spawning your team in green. Luckily, I got a snipe 2 spawn, and this is what I said I make up for it. So I get some shots here. That was some insane leading to have to get that kill, but we're 2 down, but we still got snipe tower set up. And right there, you're gonna notice my teammates spawn in green. I immediately push up towards elbow. So the ideal setup is generally going to be where my teammate is up here. This is generally going to be the sniper player, but even if you have a BR, it's usually fine. You rotate between S3, back snipe, and snipe 2. Occasionally you might have to go snipe 1. Then you want a second player, kind of where I'm at. Probably actually higher, you're going to want to go high elbow to S2 and S1. You're kind of rotating between those 3 locations. Then you want another player who's going to sit sort of like mid-elbow, bottom green. This person has the most boring job, but they're really important because they can shoot at snipe lifters, they can shoot people going bottom mid to green or bottom mid to snipe. They can also push up elbow and stand on the railing to shoot top mid, and they can even look at camo in some situations, or they can push bottom green to help. So that's the most boring position, but it's really, really important because you're basically like, you're how the setup doesn't get broken, and you're enabling your S3, S2 guy to go off. So I'm going high elbow because my teammates are going to fill in the other spots. I'm going to call this guy camo. We have sniper teammates weak, so I'm just checking to make sure no one pushes bottom mid. And I switched places with him. So whenever your teammate's weak, it's really important to like fill in their position and let them get their shields. But here I'm pushing people off of blue. Oh, yeah, so here I get a call out. This is guy top mid. I look, I don't see him, but he ended up going to green. He ends up getting the bubble shield, but that's a target prioritization thing. So like here, you gotta listen for callouts and listen for important ones. So here I'm looking at the guy blue. As soon as my teammate calls out top mid, you're gonna see a second, top mid, I immediately look, change targets. I leave that guy. I could have kept fighting that guy, but this guy is more important. Because if he pushes and kills our guy in green, the whole setup gets broken. They can push bottom mid very easily. As soon as the bubble shield went up, I knew I couldn't kill him anymore, so I went and looked back at top gold. teammate went back S2. So right now, teammate back snipe, so he's shooting and backing that guy off, lifting. I'm one shot, so whenever you get half shields or low shields, just run back. There's no need to fight and stay out in the open. Like, you're far more valuable here, and that way, if your teammates die, you spawn them here, you don't lose the setup, etc. So I'm gonna call it. They're lifting. I can tell, but this guy hasn't shot his BR at me, so I know for almost certainly a shotgun. I tried to get the kill, but I just couldn't quite get the headshot on the last kill. Luckily, my teammate ends up getting shotties, and I spawn here. So here, I tell my teammate, bump up to high elbow, I spawn green, and now I'm sitting at that mid elbow, low elbow position, looking snipe lift, looking here. So here, I saw him lining up this nade, which this is not something I ever really see people do, but this looked like a lineup that he like practiced, and I called it out. My teammate almost gets killed. S3 because he didn't know what I was talking about. So you see here, I gotta call out this camo, so I'm looking camo, and I gotta call out immediately this bottom mid. I put 2 shots in him, which helps my teammate pick up the kill. I get another call out. There's another one bottom mid, but they're not pushing. So and then somehow that guy actually gotta check this. I don't know how this guy got here. Must have gone top mid. He went top mid. So our green player didn't see him, and I didn't see him because I was trying to help bottom mid. So that guy pushed top mid, and I just did not see him, and he all of a sudden was S2. Luckily, my teammate had a shotty, and he gets the nice kill here. And I just check S1. So here, we lost our green player, and our teammate spawned blue. So this is an example of why it's so important, and nobody really, I don't think anyone, I think it was actually, yeah, our teammate just died here, and it was just bad because, so the reason that this happened is because our teammate died here, and there was a negative influence because there's an enemy S2. You're gonna see here, our teammate's gonna spawn any second now. Yep, so he spawned, our teammate spawned, and we had negative influence on Snipe 2, and our teammate was pushing bottom mid. Excuse me. So this is really important. So this is why it's so important not to push out of your position for kills. Because if he had just stayed in green, this player that spawned all the way over here on bottom blue would have spawned in green. Your teammates influence your spawn a lot, and there's not very many spawn. The spawns are going to generally be on the outskirts of the map. You're not going to see them in the middle. So 2 parts happen here. Number 1 is this guy pushed S2, which we just missed it, and part of the reason we missed is because our teammate pushed bottom S1 or bottom mid. There's not really that many spawns on elbow, and this guy's negatively influencing the snipe spawn. So even though my teammate over here is here, because this blue guy's here, the negative influence. So that was part of the reason why we ended up losing this setup. It's really important to, like, if the green guy had instead just stayed green and just watched the people coming either top mid or calling out more people bottom mid, we could have taken care of that guy like we ended up taking care of him, and we could have gotten him. So that's one really important thing if you want to, like, learn. Don't spawn your teammates out of your setup if you can. Now we got a broken setup. Teammate tries to push back to green, which is good, but unfortunately there was 2 of them there and he got naded. So I'm just baiting this spot right here. I went a little early there, but and this pissed me off. I get a call as a guy S3 and I like nade him. He dies and the bubble catches my nade and I die. And now I'm spawning in here because we had a bunch of negative influence from all dying on Snipe Tower. So we're back down to being down 6. And it's pretty much just get a foothold in blue and gold, try to get a back to snipe. So we double team this guy here, get the kill, and I know Camo's coming up, so I look for it. Yep, it's up. Camo's really solid. It's a good way to retake Snipe Tower. It's better on MLG settings because you don't have radar. And here I'm just trying not to die. Like, if there wasn't radar here, I wouldn't even have to worry about that. But I end up just pushing low here because my teammate's S1 stole the sniper. I get a call out here in a sec. Top mid, yep. So here again is an example of, unlike when you hold camo with the blue-green setup, this guy wants to just, like, either jump down here, like this isn't a great spot, but at least you can get back to snipe pretty safely, and you can help shoot the people on bottom mid. But don't really want to be on blue, because again, you risk spawning our team to blue. If you do want to be blue, like if you have to be blue, you're gonna hear here he pushes in, and my teammate calls from green. He says, like, if you need help, push top mid. But unfortunately, he just goes balls deep in blue and dies. Luckily, he dies over there, and we're gonna spawn him back on our setup. I back down right there to make sure he spawns here, which he does. Yep, teammate was in green with sniper, and I knew he was coming. So when you're holding this sniper position, you usually want to scan from left to right, because of something I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But Guardian especially emphasizes minimizing the lines of sight. So like here, where I'm standing, this is a very powerful spot, but it's risky because you can be shot at from bottom snipe lift, you can be shot at from top blue, be shot at from window, be shot at from top gold, you can be shot at from camo. And even sometimes if you go all the way up, you can be shot at from green. So it is a power position, but you got to be careful. So you'll notice when I start this play, I'm going to go up here in a second, teammate dies, you know he's coming lift, I hear him fall out, get the kill. So here, first thing I do, I look lift, no one there. I look top blue, nobody there. I look top gold. So you see how I went from left to right there? Because I want to make sure that if I start fighting these gold guys with my team, that I'm not going to get shot from blue. But as soon as these people hide, I got to call out this guy bottom gold, so I throw a nade down there just in case I can kill him. So you see, I pretty quickly, I don't see very much action top gold, I immediately turn my attention to blue and lift. Back that guy off. And once I get half shields, I just back down. The spot's really hard to nade. Good players can nade it, but it's really hard. And I gotta call out this guy bottom mid. So really, one important thing here, it's really not this person's job, the S1, the S2, S3 guy, to get this spot. Really, the person right here, playing high elbow / S2, generally is the one you want to have drop down here to fight this. But because my teammate's a little bit experienced, I just went ahead and looked for it as soon as I got the call out, and then we double team him and get the kill. So again, I'm doing the same thing. I look top blue and snipe list first. Back that guy down. Again, I'm half shields. Now, again, this is very important. You'll notice I start fighting this guy, but where I'm fighting him from, I'm weak. So I'm playing really passively on S2, and I'm eliminating lines of sight. The only guy that could have seen me was the guy top gold, and he wasn't looking at the time. That's why I went ahead and fought. So right there, this is another example of why having green is so important. So right here, this angle is so huge. And this angle from stump is also huge, because you can see top blue, and you have a lot of cover. The only places that can really shoot you are blue and camo. You don't generally want to push top tree until you have a lot of control. So right here, this guy, my teammate here, brother, is top tree because he knows that the enemy isn't blue currently, and he can fight the guy's gold. And then whenever he knows there's a guy coming blue, he can put himself right next to this wall, cut off the line of sight to gold, and shoot top blue. And having people at green, the number one mistake I see people make on this map that are inexperienced are they crowd S2 and elbow. S2 and elbow are great, you want to be there, but if you do not have at least one person green, you are going to get destroyed by the guys pushing across top mid. Because generally the people top mid can sort of sneak in and come underneath the S3 guy, and S2 is really easy to nade. So you end up in a situation where the S2 people are weak, and then you're fighting all these angles from S3 by yourself, and you're trying to kill the guy top mid. That's why it's so important to have a guy green, and I can't, like, if you play matchmaking by yourself, and you see your teammates all sitting on snipe tower, just go to green. Just go to green, you're going to get all the mop-up kills, because they're going to try to push people, and you're going to be able to clean up so many one-shots. And help your team out. So again, I scan, I immediately look back blue to check. I got a call out, there was a guy camo after a nade, and then I looked back once the nade exploded. Here I got another call out, there was a guy bottom mid, and here's really good communication. So I'm pushing him, Teammate says, I'm dropping on him, and I just leave. And my teammate, you see T11 drops down there and kills him. But my teammate called that to me, that's really good comms. I gotta call it, this guy top mid, so I nade S2 and S3. But here, this is target prioritization. I hear two callouts. I hear the top blue callout, and I hear top mid. So I put one shot in this guy, and I immediately turn my attention to help my teammate top mid. Because even though normally you want to go left to right, because that guy was top mid, and my teammate was fighting him, I knew he was going to be weak, and I knew he wasn't going to be looking at me, so I ended up getting that kill. That helps the setup. And again, my green guy can help me blue. So, you notice we were down 10, now we're up 4. We're just holding this setup. So right here is where I finally kind of explained where to hold. So we got the perfect setup. We got S2 guy, we got S3 guy, we got 2 people in green / elbow. So you see my teammates recharging shield, going back to elbow. He's sitting probably higher than you want. Probably want to be more sitting top elbow. So our teammate in green died. Our other teammate should go right back there to help him. Yep, he does. That's why, by the way, why it was better for that person not to push all the way at S2. Our teammate, we wanted him to be in green because green makes sure that you don't lose it. If you lose green, that's how you get pushed. I'm looking top mid, I got a call out. I backed. See how I shot the guy on. I got the call out earlier that the guy was top mid, but I had to push that guy off lift because if I'm all the way up top S3 and I'm shooting the guy top mid, the guy can lift on me and kill me. So I had to back this guy off first, and then now we get a good spawn. They both spawn there, but here I'm not pushing this too much. I only pushed once my teammate came to help. I got a call S3. So right here, we're in control. So again, as this guy keeps pushing bottom left, I keep shooting him, backing it off. Do you see how hard it is to nade this spot? Alright, so here, my teammate called out he was going for camo. Now, it's really important to help your teammate. Whenever, like, if you're in a fight, you'll notice the first thing I do is I immediately look top gold to help my teammate because he called out he was pushing camo. Now, this goes back to the thing I said earlier. I am not currently cutting off lines of sight. So I'm trying to help my teammate, which is good, but I can't shoot this guy without getting shot at from multiple angles. So what do? I back up, and look where I go. I go right here. Now, I'm going to push out a little bit too far, but you see how I immediately back up. This is huge. This is like the #1 thing you can do to get better at Halo in general, is in first-person shooters in general. If you take nothing else away from any of this, take this away. Make sure when you are shooting somebody, that's the only person who can see you, because if not, you risk getting 2v1. So here, I'm blocking off the line of sight to blue, and I'm shooting the guy top gold. You're gonna watch my teammate. I'm weak. My teammate called out he needed help, and we double team him and get the kill. And you see where I'm standing, blue cannot see me. Top gold could see me, but I knew just at a quick glance no one was there waiting, because top gold is generally not that good of a spot. And then now I can focus my attention back on this blue guy. So, again, target prioritization, making sure you're killing the high priority, making sure you're killing the person who's attacking your teammate, or pushing a really important position, and then making sure that when you're shooting people, that you're not in a position to get double teamed, because power positions are only as powerful as the number of angles that you can be shot at from. So you want to make sure that a really powerful high position like BR or S3 rather, you're not being shot at by other people. That was it for this match. We ended up winning the game. We were down 10, ended up coming back and winning up 7. And that was just a lot of teamwork, basically. We got the setup at BR and green, and then pretty much never looked back. So, thanks for watching. Peace.